We move from business to the press now, and Florence Villeminot is here to talk us through what's making the front pages here in France. I imagine the farmers' strike and the emergency bailout will be topping the broadsheets there, no?
That's right. Lots of focus on that emergency plan that was laid out by the government yesterday. Le Figaro, the conservative paper, is not very impressed with this emergency plan. 24 emergency measures that didn't manage to quell the farmers' anger. Now, the government pledged 600 million euros to help farmers, but Le Figaro did the math and says that it actually comes up to 100 million. The rest is just accounting tricks. So Le Figaro says that's not enough. And L'Opinion, the pro-business paper, agrees as well. It says, we're ready to dish out billions of euros to help Greece, but only millions to help our farmers. And you can see here they're talking about billions for Cyprus, but just millions for our livestock growers. And L'Opinion blames the government for mismanaging its budget, essentially. It's short on cash, and so it doesn't have any wiggle room to deal with real crises that, well, concern French people.
We've got criticism from the right there. Any criticism from the left?
Yes, absolutely. L'Humanité, the communist paper, says that this emergency plan doesn't address the real problems. And the real problem, according to L'Humanité, and you can see it on the front page here, is the pillaging of our farmers. This emergency plan is as useful as a cast on a wooden leg. That's what L'Humanité says today. Farmers are disappointed, and rightfully so, because they're going to continue to suffer despite this emergency plan.
Well, President François Hollande seems to have a solution there. He's asking consumers to do their part and buy products made in France.
That's right. Be patriotic in what you eat. That's what François Hollande said. Le Parisien takes a closer look. How French do we actually eat? How many French products are actually on our plate? Well, according to the investigation, it's actually quite good. For instance, 79% of beef products consumed in France in 2014 were actually from France, cows that were grown in, well, raised rather in France. So that's pretty good. Where does the foreign meat come from? This imported meat is found mainly in processed meat and also in restaurants. That's what Le Parisien says. So whether it's your local bistro or canteens, such as here at France 24.
Recommending people to cook at home then. Let's move on to some good news now. According to Les Echos, the much-awaited economic recovery is just around the corner, apparently.
That's right. That's on the front page. Businesses are starting to believe in the recovery. Les Echos says there's also positive signs when it comes to employment. But despite this positive news, Les Echos turns its nose up at what it calls this dull growth. Why is that? Because Les Echos is concerned this could be a trap, because it says the government could end up resting on its laurels instead of carrying out the very important reforms that are still needed here in France, such as reforming the labor market.
Let's move on to politics now. Trouble in the far-right National Front Party.
That's right. If we take a look at the front page of Libération, they're talking about the evil eye. Is the Front National under some sort of a curse? Why are they talking about this? Well, Marine Le Pen is in the middle of a very public fight with her father, Jean-Marie, the founder of the party. Now, she tried to kick him out of the party. Not only is he holding on, he's also threatening to split the party apart. Regional elections are coming up, and Jean-Marie Le Pen has threatened to present a dissident list to the Front National. So Libération takes a closer look today at whether this ideological clan war could really mean the end of the party.
It's an interesting story to keep an eye on. I'm enjoying it very much indeed. Let's move on to Le Figaro now. They're focusing on climate change in the Alps.
That's right. The Alps have been particularly hit hard by climate change. And so you can see on the front page today, Le Figaro is saying the eternal snow and ice that are kind of a trademark of the Alps, well, they're not so eternal anymore. Since 1900, temperatures have increased on average by 1.85 degrees Celsius. That's twice the world average. And this is really bad news for the plants and animals. You can see, for instance, this groundhog here. They're suffering from these increased temperatures. So is the local economy in the Alps. Now, this is an ecological tragedy that wasn't picked up by a NASA satellite. That's also getting a lot of attention in the press today. This is the Deep Space Climate Observatory. It just sent a high-quality snapshot of Earth. It's all over the press today. The last one dates back to 1972. At the time, it was called the Blue Marble, so almost 50 years ago. You can see the two photos here side by side. Looks quite similar, but Aujourd'hui en France says, don't be mistaken, things on Earth are quite different.
Indeed. Well, thanks very much for that, Florence Villeminot. Taking us through the French papers, you're watching France 24. Lots more news still to come. Do stay with us.